Good morning. Welcome to Thursday Think Tank. Masterclass this week is around your business introduction. You know that dreaded 60-second introduction about you and your business. So which one are you? Are you the one that just gives your job title and then scurries to sit down again? Or are you the one that just gives everything about everything and doesn't know when to stop for your 60-second? Well, I'm here to tell you how important that 60-second introduction is. It is one of the most important things you do. Now, think about social media. You all have to put a profile up, don't you? And sometimes it's in so many words. Think LinkedIn. But you know that people go to that first, that key message that you put out on your profile. And we all work really hard to make our profiles stand out a bit. Well, your 60-second is the verbal equivalent of your profile so that people hear you and know what you do. They know why you do it. They know a bit about you. They know if you can solve their problem, and they know if they want to come and talk to you about it. That's what it is. And it's not a friendly, hello, it's me, I'm this, I'm that. It's a serious business strategy. Okay. The whole sort of 60-second thing that was coined because of the idea you get into a lift and somebody with a ton of money says, what do you do? And you have to convince them before you get to the top floor is valid. You have to convince those people sat in a room within 60 seconds of why they should work with you, or why they need your services, or why they should even listen to you. It is so important that you get it right. So I'm going to take you through the sort of elements you need in that 60-second pitch. So bear with me. Let's share my screen and find it. And we need to be, she says, over here. And we want to be here. Okay, right. So this is my workbook that I send out to people who want to work on this 60-second pitch. So we'll skip all that bit. So there are seven things you need in your business pitch. So you have to be able to identify the problem that you solve. So identify the problem, tell them the solution. Okay. If you work with very specific group, if your niche is really tight, you need to tell people who you work with. Why you? The unique selling point. Think about it. Why would they want to work with you? This is where some of your story comes into it, where you add authority and credibility onto your service or your product. Your toolkit. Now, this is in case you only work within an office or a therapy room or a studio, or if you work online, because if you work, people are really interested now and they're thinking, that's ideal, I really need that. And you say to them, however, you have to come to my office and do this one-to-one, and they're only visiting and they're miles away. That doesn't help. You don't want to turn anybody off. So if you've got a specific toolkit, pop it in there. It's also around maybe certain therapies you use. It may be around your accounting expertise or your legal qualifications, or whatever that may be. So it's experience and knowledge. That's when people want to know it. They do not want to know at the beginning, not interested at the beginning. Then the how you work, one-to-one groups, online, have to visit the office, whatever. 5 and 6 are added in just to give flavor to what you do. You don't actually have to add that in if you don't want to. And then tell them what to do next. That is the one. You have to tell people what to do next because people don't really know. So those 7 things, and actually you could bring that down to 5, but the 3 most important things is you know the problem, you have the solution, tell them what to do next. It is actually quite simple, but you know what it's like. The simplest things in the world are the hardest things to do. So let's start with the problem. I want you to really think about this and stop and think. You have to be able to stand in your client's shoes at the moment they want to ask for help. Okay, that moment when the pain is too much and they start looking to solve it, you have to know how they're feeling. You have to know what's going on in their heads, what they need. You know, sometimes people don't even know they've got a problem until you point out the problem. And you need to be telling them why they need to solve that problem. So it's all about the problem, but you cannot identify the problem if you can't identify when somebody's ready or where they are in their journey. So think about this as, you know, you're offering the solution to the problem. So you've got this big sort of gap, and the bit you're selling is the top bit. Okay, so for me, I work with business owners to speak with confidence and clarity, from confusion to confidence. So I want to take people that are now confused and fearful and everything else to confident and clear. That's what they're buying of me. But they have to go through the journey first. So understanding up here that my clients, my ideal clients, my client try that again, client groups, sorry. So let me take a little sip of apple juice. There we go. Joys of speaking for too long. Your mouth dries up. So I know that there's a point where they go, oh, I've got to start and do my 60-second. I don't know what to say. Or I've been asked to do a workshop, got to do a presentation. Oh, look, it's just a mess. There's this confusion and this fear going down at the bottom of the journey. And they really want to be able to stand up and be really confident and clear about what they do and how they say it. So that's what I'm selling. I'm selling the end product through the journey. Okay. So you have to identify the problem. And in here, you can jot down all the problems. So then it's about, okay, you've identified this problem and everybody's sitting there going, yeah, that's me. And I see them around the table all trying to scribble out their 60-second or just looking like they're never going to get up on a stage ever, really sort of confused and stuff. Well, I have the solution. I can get them from confused to confident because I have a step journey to do that. I've been where they are. I know what's needed. And up there, they become really confident and clear and want to tell the world about their business. So my solution is, if you work through the 5 steps that I've identified, my 5-step program, you will become far more confident about speaking in public, about doing a keynote speech, about running a presentation, about doing a video or a live stream or a podcast or a TikTok video, whatever it might be. My solution is my program will get you there, and it will get you there quicker because I have these particular things that if you work on them, figure them out, you'll be much more confident up there and there won't be any more confusion. So I identify the problem and I offer the solution. Now, who do you work with? Now, I predominantly work with women who are just starting up, who may be on scale up, who maybe are really nervous about standing up and telling anybody what they do because they've never done it before and they don't really know where to start. So I generally work with women, although I can work with anybody. But specifically, I work with new business owners. or scale up business owners. So if somebody is in the audience and they maybe have been running their business for years, they may be running a global thing, they may not really need me. However, they may think, oh, I could bring this woman in to work with my teams because they struggle and they need to be up there. So think about who you work with. Do you work with women who are recently divorced? Do you work with drivers who need their HGV license? Do you work with adults who are ready to learn something new? Think about who you work with, and don't say I can work with anybody. Any of us can work with anybody. But when we're speaking to people, we have to have an idea of who we're speaking to in order to speak to them. It's all about knowing who your audience are. In the same way, you have to know who your ideal client is. And we go back to that knowing how they're feeling before they need that help. So I work with business owners who are terrified of standing up and speaking in public. Now, I can say in sometimes I'd say I work with female business owners because women are the worst for telling everybody how brilliant they are. So think about who you work with, okay? Then why you? Why should they work with you? When I'm doing my 67, why should they work with me? Why should they? Well, for a start, I'm an award-winning, I'm an international, I'm a TEDx speaker and a coach. Also, part of my story is I was at theatre school for 3 years. I've worked with groups of people, helping them discover their voice on very deprived neighborhoods. I love the idea that other people are finding their power through their voice and standing up and speaking. It's part of my story. And the fact that I understand the mechanics of speaking. I'm an NLP master practitioner, so I understand about mindset. All of that stuff is part of my story, and that's why me. And the other thing about why me is because I'm fun. I'll tell you how it is. I will kick you up the backside sometimes if you're not following through on stuff. And I give much more than, I deliver as much value as I possibly can. So that's all in part of my why me. Come and work with me because it may be that you have been through that process so you can make it happen faster. It may be that you know exactly how people feel. It may be that you were trained specifically to do that job, to solve that problem. So whatever it is, why you? But that's where we put a bit of our story in. That's when we start showing people us. So your toolkit. So these are all the lovely things you put together to solve that problem. So often people will stand up and go, I'm a solicitor. Well, actually, solicitor belongs in your toolkit because it's the knowledge and the skills and the experience you have as a solicitor that helps them solve the problem. Okay, so this is where story, qualifications, experience, knowledge, maybe your team, it may be like hypnotherapy or EFT, or and some people have loads of therapies that they use. And I know this is a particular problem for people who work in the wellness sector because they're trying to shove it all in. Well, we don't care necessarily at the beginning about how you do it, just that you can do it. Okay. The other thing you might want to put in here is maybe some, a quick case study. Like I was working with one lady who, when she came to me, when we finished, she was that. So this all belongs in the toolkit. This is saying to people, this is my credibility. This is why I'm good at what I do. This is what I use to help you do what you do. So if one of the things I desperately suddenly needed solving was, for argument's sake, terrified of the dark, but somebody said to me, to overcome that, we're going to lock you in a dark room, I'm out. But other people might think that's a brilliant idea. So put things in your toolkit that make sense Don't go overboard and try to just shove everything in because you'll overwhelm people. Think of 3 really great tools you use to help someone achieve where they want to be. The how you work, again, I think this is important if people have to come to you. So if you have a therapy room or you have an office specific that they have to come to you, or if you work online, or if you're willing to travel to them, I think people like to know that. It helps with their, that when they come to talk to you, they've got as much information as possible and their expectations are being met. And I think in the 60-second, it's about not raising an expectation that you aren't able to actually deliver, because then somebody goes, oh, well, you never said that. And they walk away only knowing that you didn't meet their expectation. And this one, tell them what to do next, people. The most important thing about this is that if you don't tell people what to do, they don't do anything. They'll walk out of something and that was brilliant. Oh, wasn't she amazing? And all the rest of it, but won't do anything. But if you end your 60-second pitch with, come and chat to me afterwards, let's book a time to talk. Please take one of my business cards, or, let me have your business cards, whatever it may be you want them to do, tell them and they will do it. I know we all hate being told what to do, but in this instance, tell them what to do, because people will do what they tell to do. They won't do what they're not told to do. So always have your call to action, always, especially when you're speaking. People like to know what to do next. Okay, so what you actually end up with, and this has changed recently, but this was my 60-second pitch. I work with women in business to help you overcome fear of public speaking. Using my experience in acting and as an NLP master practitioner, I help you change your mindset and understand the 6 steps to confident public speaking, helping you grow and attract new clients for your business. I run short online courses where you can work with me one-to-one to really get to grips with your fears. Come and have a chat and see how I can help you. See how simple that is? It's all you need. It's all you need, because that's raised interest. You've opened up what the problem is, you've told them the solution, you've told them why you, and told them what to do next. Simple as that, okay? So that's basically it. And what I will do is when I send out the replay, let me stop that share there, I will also include the booklet for you, and the replay will be in the network. So I invite you all to join the network to get the replay. And if you want to chat through this, if you want to give me, let's have a call. Let's see how you're doing with your 60-second pitch, whether it's too confusing or it's not working for you. I'll put the link in again, and we can go over what you're saying now and where you may be, missing a trick. All right, it's been a joy to talk to you this week, and I'm looking forward to next week's Thursday Think Tank Masterclass. And I hope you have a lovely weekend. Okay, people, let me stop this now and say bye. Have a great day.